Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is a super quick rundown of a few notes from this week about Real Madrid. We'll also talk about last weekend's match against Valladolid with some interesting facts, and we'll touch briefly on the upcoming Las Palmas versus Real Madrid game. You might have heard some news about a supposed offer from Saudi Arabia for Vinicius Jr., but we're not even going to talk about that because honestly, we think it's just not worth the time. Today is Wednesday, August 28th, so let's jump right into the video. Kim Kardashian, the American businesswoman and powerful influencer, one of the most followed models on social media worldwide, was present at Real Madrid's return to the Santiago Bernabéu stadium. Her 8-year-old son, Saint West, stepped onto the field before the match hand in hand with Brazilian star Vinicius Jr. They shared some moments on the pitch after the game, along with club president Florentino Perez. Kim Kardashian visited Vinicius's place a couple of days earlier. Those were unforgettable moments that the famous celebrity shared on her official Instagram account. She also posted about her son walking onto the field with Vini. Kim Kardashian wanted her son to meet his idol, Vinicius Jr., and also visit the Santiago Bernabéu. Real Madrid also shared photos of Kim Kardashian with Florentino Perez, both before and after the match. Mario Martin, the young defensive midfielder from the club's academy, who accompanied the team during their friendly tour in the United States, will be loaned out to Valladolid for this season. He actually played a few mins in the match against Real Madrid last Sunday. Marvel, the central defender, will also be heading out on loan to Cordoba, a team currently playing in Spain's second division. In total, Real Madrid has loaned or sold 17 players to first division clubs in Europe. Real Madrid's youth academy has been a significant contributor to first division clubs across Europe in recent times. I can't wrap up this segment without mentioning that Nico Paz has just made his Serie A debut, playing 32 minutes with 2 dribbles and 3 ball recoveries. The match ended with a 3-0 victory for Real Madrid against Valladolid, a team that just returned to Spain's first division. The attacking lineup wasn't exactly what we expected, or at least not what I expected. Ancelotti went with a 4-2-3-1 formation and chose to start Arda Guler as an attacking midfielder instead of Modric, which is pretty unusual. But it's a nice surprise and shows that Ancelotti can break away from his usual patterns. The first half of the match was a bit tricky for 2 main reasons. First, Valladolid parked all 11 of their players in their own box, clearly hoping for a mistake from Real Madrid to counterattack and cause some trouble. Second, there was a lack of coordination among the attacking players. Some passes went astray, they didn't spot the open spaces on the field, and they didn't make the triangular plays we saw last season. But this is pretty normal, considering that Mbappe and Arda Guler are new to the team and still learning to read their teammates' movements. Despite this, the team had some chances to open the scoring. By the end of the first half, Real Madrid had 70% possession, mostly in the opponent's half. In the second half, Valladolid's game plan was much the same, but Real Madrid started moving the ball a bit faster. The score opened with a free kick taken by Valverde. Initially, Arda Guler was going to take it, but Ancelotti's insistence that Valverde take the shot changed the game. From that moment on, the game shifted, and Valladolid, no longer just sitting back, tried to create some chances of their own. Real Madrid's defense was better in this match, but they still showed some errors that will surely be fixed in the upcoming games. Let's take a look at the graph showing the Real Madrid players who covered the most distance in this match. Fran Garcia covered the most ground during the game. Notice that out of these 8 players, 4 are defensive players, along with Valverde and Tchouaméni, who played as defensive midfielders. Also note that Vinicius Jr. was the offensive player who covered the most distance, even though he left the field in the 85th minute. Arda Guler, who was subbed off in the 69th minute, still made it to 8th on this list. The heat map of our three forwards shows a clear difference compared to the previous match. The attacking play was much more balanced, as you can see. Although Mbappe's performance wasn't quite what we expected, he had 3 clear chances during the match to score his first La Liga goal. Arda Guler also had the chance to score 1 or 2 goals. Many of the team's scoring opportunities were created by Vinicius Jr., who, after 2 matches, has already made 9 key passes, making him the second best in this statistic in Europe right now. Just as a reminder, a key pass is one that leads directly to a shot, whether the shot resulted in a goal or not. Vinicius also made 24 pressure actions against Valladolid, while Mbappe only made 14. This is a big improvement for Vinicius compared to the first match against Mallorca, where he made only 9 pressure actions, while Mbappe made just 3. Another point worth mentioning is that in the first 2 matches of the season, Vinicius has made 2 key passes to Mbappe, 3 to Rodrigo, and 4 to the rest of his teammates. Meanwhile, Rodrigo has made only 2 key passes to the rest of his teammates, and none to Vinicius. And finally, Mbappe hasn't made any key passes to anyone. Valverde was named the MVP of the match, but I'd like to highlight Militao's role. He had a fantastic game, not only defensively, winning the majority of his direct duels, but also with his impressive accuracy in both short and long passes. After a season where he suffered a serious injury, Militao is back. Finally, the 2 goals that sealed the match were scored by 2 players from the bench. Brahim Diaz scored the second with excellent ball control on a long pass from Militao, and the third was by Endrick, with the goal coming after a magnificent dribble by Ceballos in his own half. Endrick is the youngest player to score on his debut at the Bernabéu this century. Here is the squad list for Real Madrid's upcoming match against Las Palmas, which is tomorrow. It is not too different compared to the previous one, although Ferland Mendy is back in it. This could be the lineup for the match against Las Palmas. It's the same one that Ancelotti used against Valladolid, but you'll notice that I'm insisting on Modric in the midfield. However, as I mentioned in the previous video, I'd like to see Arda Guler play again, especially since his numbers were very good during the match. He attempted 5 shots on goal, all within just 21 minutes in the second half, 3 of which were very close to the penalty spot. He also made 8 touches inside the penalty area, leading Real Madrid in both statistics. You'll also notice that I've placed Lucas Vázquez instead of Dani Carvajal at right back. I'm guessing Ancelotti might want to protect Dani Carvajal to avoid fatigue before the upcoming FIFA international break. If Carvajal plays against Las Palmas, it's likely he won't play against Betis this weekend. However, we'll have Ferland Mendy back. Let's talk a bit about Las Palmas. In their second league match, they lost 2-1 to Leganés at Leganés' home. The stats are very similar for both teams, but possession was notably higher for Las Palmas, with 61% by the end of the match and an 80% pass accuracy. Last season, Leganés had an average of 59% ball possession throughout the season, which means they're a team that tries to maintain a lot of possession. Last season, the team recorded a total of 10 wins, 6 of which were at home. They rely heavily on aerial play, averaging 19 crosses into the box per game. The AI predicts a 68% chance of a Real Madrid victory. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. Leave your thoughts on Ancelotti's potential lineup or on the match statistics in the comments box below. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.